I'm the bad guy if I tell you I just wanna be free.
I love who I am.
I just wanna be me. I'm the bad guy
I love who I am.
I'm the bad guy if I tell you I think that
I am the master of my emotions. I am the master of my emotions.
Never give up on life. And sometimes you have to find that inner person and be inspired by your own.
If we go with a basic definition of what stress is, what would that basic definition be?
So stress, it really depends on, we're all unique individuals. It's your experiences. That's what stress is, your experiences and how it may affect you.
Which I was dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, and going through my treatments, the doc asked me what was going on with me. He asked me, did I understand fear? What he was talking about was my PTSD from the Persian Gulf War. He was like, you have gotten so elevated into this stress because of, you know, the bombs dropping and all of those things happening, that you're caught up in this parasympathetic system where you are caught up in this fight or flight space where your adrenaline rushes you all the way up here. It's almost like that super strength that you get to lift that car up off someone you love. I'm stuck in that space.
I can't control what others do. I can absolutely control how I respond to what they do. And I can control, and I can ask myself the real hard questions of, why does this bother me? This takes vulnerability. In order to get to that emotional authenticity that the sister was talking about just a second ago, it requires you to be vulnerable. But here's the problem: don't nobody want to be vulnerable, because vulnerability means you're gonna be scared. Why? Because if I'm vulnerable with others, then guess what happens? I give them the ability to be able to.
I'm not 40 yet, but it took a traumatic experience for me to get to this stage. When I was 30, I had to hit rock bottom to start discovering who I am. Now, to prevent that from happening to anyone else, spend time with yourself. We're in a world surrounded by a lot of distractions, IG likes, TikToks, celebrities, what this celebrity doing, what this rapper doing, this music. Yo, get away from all that. Spend some time with yourself. Go out in nature.
I've got to love myself more. And I know I've said it before at least 1,000,000 times, but the clarity I'm feeling now, it makes me very sure that if I don't change up my pace, then I'll be pounding at death's door. You see, I already begged Yahweh and he hasn't called me home. I tried to do it right and I can't wait to see his throne, even if I have to go around his will and do it on my own, because I'm forgiven, right? They say I'm covered in his blood and that he died on Calvary and raised, and I'm saved by grace and love, right? I popped this whole cabinet. We're still good, right?
You feel that body to send you that signal? That's when you ask your question, is this emotion valid? And if this emotion is valid, then what does it say about me? Or you can ask more questions, best case, worst case scenario, and you just work your process.
Took them to the movies to see Transformers, and I never had a problem at the movie. But to see that large machinery moving, it reminded me, if you know what an M1 tank is, or Abrams, but it reminded me of that heavy stuff, and then I felt everything closing in. So it was
there, as I said earlier, a wall is before they go over the cliff, before they actually reach a level where of stress and anger. Okay, this happens over time, and once again, it's awareness. You gotta know you. You gotta know you, and you gotta do whatever you gotta do to stay away from that environment. Okay, so the problem is we don't know how to get out of these environments.
I'll stay on my knees. Now that I'm running for reason and purpose, and Jesus know that I'm
it kind of sucks being in the middle, black shit with the fiddle. They never did have the formula. Wanted to know who was the masterpiece to get you to the normal. Say pass judgment, pass test.
To the parade, and I never had a problem before, But I'm out there, and then they shooting the fireworks, and it looked like the bombs all over again. So for me, I was like stuck in this space, tears coming down my eyes. I could not move, and my daughter's looking at me like they didn't know what to do, so they panicked. They didn't know the history of, so it's important to inform the people around you as to what's going on as well. So them seeing me just break down, and I had to leave because it's a crowd of people, and then the bombs are, it just, the triggers actually, what it is, it puts you back in that environment. I could feel the bombs in the air. I could feel the smell of the burning bodies. All of it came back, and it put me in that space. And what counseling did for me was, you have to compartmentalize things and put it in its proper place to let me know that, okay, I'm not in that space anymore. That I'm not in that place.
Give yourself the ability to have and make mistakes, and to learn from those mistakes and to grow from them. Because see, this is the thing that I have learned. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Yes. Not everybody chooses to grow. Yes. Most people go through life very content to blame others for everything that has gone wrong in their life. They get comfortable in that space because as long as everything is everybody else's problem, then I don't have a problem. And then the problem with that is that you never grow. So you continuously are the negative factor in every situation as you go forward. You the constant.
I take on the role of the mad titan, like Jesus infused with me, now I'm black lightning. Half guidance between pathfinder and baptizing. I walk it alone knowing I may never get back righteous. The act of Christ is sacrifice, but half the fight. Dagger knife, tip of the ice, swagger like black or white doesn't matter. Like the asking price for any Apple logo, won't you half a bite? The spitting image of pastor, my God, it's the afterlife. Humanity can't fix itself of its own corruption. Its own destruction till I'm the one in control of justice. You value judgment even more than the blow of trumpets, detailing you of a timely doom to let you know